Number 6 of the 12 days of MLB rankings is here, and today I'm ranking the best left fielder from every team in Major League Baseball. I'm not gonna lie, this position, one of the weaker ones in baseball, so this ranking list in particular will be super weird and interesting. So make sure you stick around to the end to see who comes in at number 1. Enough of me talking, let's get going into these rankings. Getting us started today at number 33 is gonna be Josh Smith of the Texas Rangers. It's not really fair to rank Josh Smith here because he's not really a left fielder, he's more of a utility man. That is his value. On the field, the play has not been great from what we saw in his rookie season. He's a fun little player, can do a bunch of different things, but right now he is going to come in at 33 in left field. Better bench player than he is starting left fielder. Next up at number 32, we've got Jose Azocar of the San Diego Padres. Similarly, Azocar, not really a starter, but the Padres don't have any other outfielders really right now that fit this position. So Azocar is the best option. He plays good defense, he's a good athlete, but at the plate, there's just not much there. So for that reason, I have him at 32. At the number 31 spot, I've got Connor Capel of the Oakland A's. Capel showed a little bit of a bat last year in 22 games. In that stretch, he hit 300 with the 356 on base, 519 slugging, 875 OPS. I'm not really sure what to project him for going into the next year, so I'm going to be a little cautious, especially with the A's in that ballpark, and put him at 31. Getting the top 30 started at number 30, I've got Alex Call of the Washington Nationals. Call swung the bat well with the Nationals in 35 games last year, finishing with a 772 OPS. Does have a little bit of pop in that bat. Again, another guy who's a good athlete. I'm not sure what the ceiling is for Alex Call, but it seems like right now he's going to be getting a lot of playing time in Washington. I have him at 30. Coming in at the number 29 spot, Cincinnati Reds outfielder TJ Friedl. Friedl had a nice little season last year. 8 homers, 10 doubles, 5 triples, 25 RBIs, hitting 240 with a 314 on base, 436 slugging, 750 OPS. I think he'll be able to hit, especially in that ballpark in Cincinnati. Just got to see a little bit more out of him before I start throwing him up this list. At 28, a guy that I personally like as a player, he just has not shown that potential yet, Jarren Duran of the Boston Red Sox. Duran played a lot of center field, and I feel like it affected his game last year because defensively he was struggling, and at the plate he was struggling. Throughout the minors, he was known for his contact hitting ability, and then he started to develop power later on. He looks like he's a good player. He's a fantastic athlete, and the dude's jacked. He just has not played well at the major league level yet. Kind of a make or break year right now for Duran with the Red Sox. In a similar situation, coming in at 27 is going to be Jared Kelenic of the Seattle Mariners. Oof, Kelenic has been bad. Really, really bad. I don't think he's a bad player. I still think the potential is there. I think he can be a good hitter, but the K rate's exceptionally high. He hasn't been good, but he has shown some pop. He has hit 21 homers in 147 games with 18 doubles, 60 RBIs. There's a good hitter there. It's just unlocking it at the major league level where he seems to be a little lost. Just missing out on the top 25, coming in at number 26, I've got Akil Baddoo of the Detroit Tigers. Baddoo had a great rookie season in 21, struggled mightily in 2022, and it's a bit concerning. He really had a difficult time hitting at the major league level last year. And it wasn't just against lefties, just in general. He struggled. Obviously, he had that really good rookie year, so I have not given up hope on Akil Baddoo, but I think the ceiling has come down a bit, and I can't put him inside the top 25 yet. Getting the top 25 started at number 25, I've got Drew Waters of the Kansas City Royals. Drew Waters, former top prospect of the Atlanta Braves, finally got a shot last year in Kansas City, and in his 32 games, showed some signs of promise here. 5 homers, 6 doubles, 18 RBIs, with an 803 OPS. Obviously, I don't think he'll be able to keep up those numbers for a full season necessarily next year, but for a guy who was a former top prospect, to show good power, some good pop in 100 at-bats last year, it's a good sign. At the number 24 spot, current free agent, Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham had a nightmare 2022 season. Between hitting Jock Peterson in the face and playing poorly on the field, nothing really went right for him. It was arguably the worst season of his career. That being said, he still gets on base, still plays pretty good outfield and left field, so I'm not going to drop him too much, but he is no longer the Tommy Pham we once remember. For the 23rd best left fielder in Major League Baseball, I'm going with John Birdie of the Miami Marlins. Birdie's a fun little player. If you ask Met fans, they would tell you he's the best left fielder in baseball because he kills us. That being said, the rest of the league he doesn't do so hot against, but he is a stolen base machine. He stole a Major League best 41 bases last year with a 662 OPS for an OPS plus of 89. Again, a guy who can play a variety of different positions, which is his true value, but he's got some speed on those base paths. Birdie's a nice little player. Dropping quite a bit here at number 22, I've got Chris Taylor of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Taylor looked bad, like really bad last year. The K rate was through the roof. He struck out 35% of the time last season and really didn't have much power with only 10 home runs. I haven't lost faith in Chris Taylor as a player just yet. Again, another one of these guys who can play a bunch of different positions, and that's what makes him valuable on a team. I think he'll bounce back, but boy, he's gonna fall a little bit on my ranking. Just missing out on the top 20, coming in at number 21, I've got Jack Suwinski of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Suwinski can low-key swing it. 19 home runs last year, 11 doubles, 38 RBIs in 106 games. The average was low at 202, but he walked a decent amount 11% of the time. A 709 OPS gave him an OPS plus at 98, WRC plus at 100. I think it was a really good rookie year for Jack Suwinski, a guy who gets on base, hits the ball pretty hard, decent barrel rates, someone to keep an eye out for next year for sure. Getting the top 20 started at number 20, free agent left fielder David Peralta. The freight train used to be one of the great left fielders in the game game. As he's gotten older, he's definitely fallen off a little bit, but he still plays great defense out in left field, and he's still swinging the bat decently well. I just think in his 35-year-old season, you're probably going to see even more regression, more so like what we saw him in Tampa Bay last year rather than Arizona. But the freight train should definitely be a left fielder on some team. I mean, there are 10 teams I just named that have worse left fielders than him right now in my eyes. For the 19th best left fielder in Major League Baseball, Oswaldo Cabrera of the New York Yankees. Cabrera had a really nice rookie season. This dude's a ball player. He's got some pop in that bat. He can slap it around to all fields. He plays a bunch of different positions. Oswaldo Cabrera is a guy I want on my team, but I don't think he's one of the best left fielders in the game. There's going to be some regression, but he does a lot of things well, and I do think he's going to end up being a good player for these Yankees. I don't know what to do with these next two guys here. At number 18, I've got Marcell Ozuna of the Braves. He stunk so bad last year, and he was really bad in 21, but he still hits the ball really hard. He still barrels at a really good rate. There's a world where Marcell Ozuna just is really good again next year. While some stuff off the field might have affected his play, it was completely his fault. I'm not going to completely write off his talent on the field just yet because of what I just said. Hits the ball hard, barrels. He's too talented to be this bad. Another guy that's so confusing to rank at 17, Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo is so incredibly talented, but wow, did he stink last year. Horrendously bad. 160 average, 280 on base, 357 slugging, 638 OPS for an OPS plus of 79. The only reason I have him a little bit higher is because he is still a phenomenal fielder out in the outfield, and the power potential is just so sick. He has the potential to be one of the better outfielders in the game, production-wise, that I just can't write him off yet. I can't, and he's going to play every day in Minnesota. Let's see how he does. I'm rooting for him. For the 16th best left fielder in Major League Baseball, free agent Jurickson Profar. Profar had a really good year in 2022. Kind of does a good year, bad year type thing, which we've seen with some players, last year being a good one. What Profar does well, plays a bunch of different positions, gets on base, doesn't strike out too much. A little bit of pop in that bat, and he's a switch hitter. He is a solid overall player, and I'm surprised more teams aren't calling him yet to play left field because he's pretty good. Starting off the top 15 at the number 15 spot, Austin Hayes of the Baltimore Orioles. Austin Hayes is a good little player. About a little bit better than league average offensively. The Orioles play him in left field when they're home because they want to make sure with that crazy left field, they have a guy who's good out there. Otherwise, he'd probably be playing center. He is a pretty good outfielder, all-around good player, right here at number 15. Like, that's pretty much where he belongs. Next up at number 14, I've got Pena Power Jr., Lourdes Gurriel. Lourdes is interesting. He hits the ball hard, refuses to hit it in the air, always puts up good numbers. I mean, for his career, he has an OPS right around 800 and OPS plus at 117, and he's decent out in left field. If he starts to lift the ball, like we saw in 21 or in 20, and he can hit for a little bit more power, I think he can definitely go up this list. He's only 29 years old. He's a very good player. Coming in at number 13, I've got Mark Canha of the New York Mets. Love me some Mark Canha. Marky Cheerios. He's boring. He's reliable. He's solid. And I feel like that's what the number 13 spot is. Just a solid player. Gets on base like crazy. Plays a good left field. While the pop isn't really as strong as it once was, like we saw in 2019 with the bouncy balls, still managed to get about 35 extra base hits on the year. I think he's probably going to play a little bit less this upcoming season with the Mets, which is why I have him a little bit lower, but WRC plus consistently in 120. He's a good ball player offensively. Coming in at number 12, I've got Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs. Happ had a really nice year in 22. He's a good hitter. Now, he does tend to chase a little bit, but he also does walk, which is nice. Like, there's nothing, again, that Ian Happ does particularly well that you're like, oh, Ian Happ's a stud at, but all around, just a good player, and he won the Gold Glove in left field in 2022 as well. His outside numbers tell you that he's going to regress a little bit this year, but he still will be very good. Just missing out on the top 10, coming in at number 11, I've got Michael Brantley of the Houston Astros. Brantley would be a top 10 guy, but he's getting a little bit older now, and his reliability playing-wise is getting less and less. He only played 64 games last year. I'm interested to see if he can make it through a full MLB season, because if he does, obviously, he's one of the elite contact hitters in the game. On-base machine, doesn't strike out. He's just really good with the bat. The athleticism's dying down a little bit, though, and like I said, he's missing games, so that's why I keep him outside the top 10. But if he's healthy, oh, top 10 for sure. Getting the top 10 started at the number 10 spot, Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. You guys knew I was going to have one bold pick a video. This is my bold rookie. It's Corbin Carroll. He was so good last year in the minors, and then he came up to the major league level at 21 years old and in 32 games at 260 with the 330 on base, 500 slugging, 830 OPS plus at 133. He's a sick athlete. He's just a really, really good player. He's had success throughout his entire career. I fully expect Corbin Carroll to go off in Arizona next year. Diamondbacks are going to be a fun team. Corbin Carroll's a huge reason. Guys, remember Chris Bryant? Well, yeah, he's my 9th best left fielder in baseball. Now, similarly to Michael Brantley, this guy loves to not play a full season. Last year, only played 42 games with the Rockies. They were a good 42, though. 5 homers, 12 doubles, 14 RBIs with a 306 average, 376 on base, 475 slugging, 851 OPS. Chris Bryant is like kind of underrated because he's boring and he plays for the Rockies and he's always hurt, so you forget about him. But when he does play, he mashes. He's one of the better hitters when he plays. I'm going to put him in the top 10. For the 8th best left fielder in Major League Baseball, let's go to the Bay Area to talk about Jock Peterson. Now, Jock probably is better off as a DH because defensively he's pretty horrible in left field, but we know the bat that he swings is an absolute boomstick. Jock last year in 433 plate appearances at 23 homers, 19 doubles, 3 triples, and 70 RBIs, hitting 274 with a 353 on base, 521 slugging, 874 OPS. It was the best year of his career. He made an all-star team. Jock's got some serious pop. Top 10 left fielder. Let's head to the south side of Chicago for the 7th best left fielder in Major League Baseball, Andrew Benintendi. The biggest contract in White Sox history, 5 years, $75 million. He's a good player. Plays good defense in the outfield. He's a slap hitter. He's not going to put up much power, only 5 home runs in 2022, but I do think playing in Chicago with the White Sox will help a little bit getting out of Kansas City. Hits for good average, gets on base, does everything well. All around good player. Glad to see Andrew Benintendi playing well. This was a guy that was like my prototypical dream number 2 hitter. Just missing on the top 5, coming in at number 6, I've got Christian Yelich of the Brewers. Now I know he's not played well the last 3 years, but relatively speaking, he has played well. It's just not the MVP levels that we once had, so I think we kind of got a little bit spoiled. He still hits the ball incredibly hard. He still gets on base. He still does all the things that you saw from those MVP seasons. It's just he's not lifting the ball anymore. He's had some injuries. I do think that plays into it. I'm really interested to see what he does in 23. Hopefully he's fully healthy because I think Yelich is due for a bounce back. He's too good. So talented. Getting the top 5 started at the number 5 spot, I've got Tyler O'Neill of the St. Louis Cardinals. O'Neill battled injuries last year and it seemed to affect his game. He's obviously coming off the career year in 2021 where he had a 912 OPS, was going crazy. I don't think he's going to be able to be that kind of player, but I think you can find a happy medium, and that puts him as one of the 5 best left fielders in the game. You take the last 2 years, he's averaging about 24 homers, 20 doubles, and 70 RBIs a season with a 262 average, 334 on base, 491 slugging, and 825 OPS. That's really good, and he's a great left fielder defensively too. I think this has to be the biggest jump on my list. Coming in at number 4, Taylor Ward of the Los Angeles Angels. The more and more I look into Taylor Ward, he's really good. He does everything really well. Good defensively, good at the plate, good eye, good discipline, doesn't strike out too much, and he had a great year in 22. 23 homers, 22 doubles, 65 RBIs, hitting 281 with a 360 on base, 473 slugging, 833 OPS plus a 135. Taylor Ward needs some respect. This dude is one of the better left fielders in the game right now. We're into the top 3. Coming in at number 3, Randy Arozarena of the Tampa Bay Rays. Randy really is so good. Quietly. It's because he plays in Tampa. 153 games last year, 20 homers, 41 doubles, 3 triples, and 89 RBIs, stealing 32 bases, hitting 263 with a 327 on base, 445 slugging, and an OPS at 773, OPS plus at 124. Defensively, not so great out there for Randy, but at the plate, the dude mashes. Some MF named Randy, the postseason legend, he's not going anywhere. He is one of the best left fielders in the game. Missing out on the number 1 spot, coming in at number 2, I've got Kyle Schwarber of the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, should he be a DH? Yes. Will he be? No. He's going to play left field, and you don't really care about the defense when you hit 46 home runs like he did. 21 doubles, 94 RBIs. He stole 10 bases. Now, he did strike out 200 times. That was the most in Major League Baseball, so that kept his average at about 218, but he had a 323 on base, 504 slugging, 827 OPS for an OPS plus at 130, coming off of the year before that where he hit 32 home runs and was a beast for the Nationals and Red Sox. He's one of the reasons why the Phillies are one of the better teams in baseball. 13% walk rate, that's pretty disgusting with that power. I know he can't play the field, but that power is elite. That puts him at 2, especially in a weak position. And then coming in at 1, the best left fielder in baseball after 1 season, Stephen Kwan of the Cleveland Guardians. Throw some respect on my boy's name. Stephen Kwan had a phenomenal rookie year. 147 games, 6 homers, 25 doubles, 7 triples, 52 RBI, stealing 19 bases, hitting 298 with a 373 on base, 400 slugging, 772 OPS plus 124. He walked 2 more times than he struck out. 62 walks, 60 strikeouts. He won the Gold Glove. He finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting, only behind Adley Rutschman and Julio Rodriguez, who have generational type talent. Stephen Kwan is so good. He's so good that as a slap type hitter, he still projects to be a monster offensively. The projection systems love him. Stephen Kwan is so good. Best left fielder in baseball. What do you guys think? Let me know if you agree or disagree with me down in the comments section below. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like on it. It really does help support the video, the channel, the series, as well as don't forget to subscribe too, so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you all season long, including the 12 days of MLB rankings. Follow me on all my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in description. You know the drill from here on out. This video right here was my shortstop ranking that went up yesterday if you did not see it, and this will be a link to the playlist of the entire 12 days of MLB rankings in case you've missed some. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for the center field position rankings. Bye.